You think he cares, don't you? But something feels off. He says the right things, does just enough to keep you around. But deep down, you know he's using you. And the worst part, the biggest red flag isn't loud. It's silent, hidden. And if you don't spot it now, you'll waste years on someone who never truly valued you. We're diving deep into one crucial sign that a man is just using you, one that most people miss. If you feel drained, unappreciated, or stuck in a cycle of giving without receiving, this is for you. Because the truth is, a man who values you shows it in action, not just words. And when he doesn't, that's when you must wake up, stand up, and reclaim your worth. A man who genuinely values you doesn't just take, he gives. And I'm not talking about expensive gifts or grand gestures. I'm talking about the things that matter: time, effort, emotional support, and consistency. If a man is always on the receiving end, always expecting you to be there for him, but never truly showing up for you, that is not love. That is selfishness disguised as affection. And here's the hard truth. A relationship where one person constantly gives while the other only takes is not a partnership. It's an emotional transaction, and you are being used as the currency. Think about it. Do you find yourself constantly accommodating him, adjusting your schedule, your needs, and even your emotions just to keep the peace? Does he only reach out when he needs something? Attention, validation, physical intimacy, or emotional support. But the moment you need him, he's suddenly busy, tired, or unavailable. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern. And patterns reveal the truth, no matter how much we want to ignore them. A man who is genuinely invested in you makes an effort to be there even when it's inconvenient for him. He doesn't just take what benefits him and disappear when things require effort. He listens when you speak, not just waiting for his turn to talk. He checks in on you, not just when he's bored, but because he truly cares. If a man's presence in your life is only noticeable when he needs something, he's not a partner. He's a user. Many people make excuses for this kind of behavior. Maybe he's just busy. Maybe he's bad at expressing emotions. Maybe I'm expecting too much. No. You are expecting what any healthy relationship should have: balance, mutual effort, and reciprocity. A man who values you doesn't make you question whether you're important to him. He doesn't make you feel like an option. And he doesn't drain you while refusing to pour anything back into you. And here's the dangerous part. The longer you allow this, the harder it becomes to walk away. When you keep giving to someone who only takes, you start believing that your value is tied to how much you can offer. You start to measure your worth by how much you can endure. You shrink yourself, tolerate disrespect, and settle for breadcrumbs, convincing yourself that it's better than nothing. But let me tell you something. Your worth is not measured by how much you can endure. Love is not about suffering to prove you deserve it. A healthy relationship makes you feel full, not empty. If you constantly feel drained, exhausted, or unappreciated, that's not love. That's emotional exploitation. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the more you teach yourself that it's normal. It is not. A man who truly loves and values you will not leave you questioning whether he cares. His actions will make it obvious. His presence will be consistent. His support will be unwavering. So if you're dealing with a man who only takes but never gives, recognize it for what it is: a red flag that cannot be ignored. Do not waste your time trying to fix him, change him, or prove your worth to him. Your worth is not up for debate. Walk away, not because he doesn't care, but because you deserve someone who does. A man's words are easy. Anyone can say, "I love you." Anyone can promise commitment, loyalty, and a future together. But words without action are meaningless. And this is where so many people get trapped. Believing in promises that never materialize, hoping for change that never comes, and holding on to a version of someone that only exists in words. When a man truly values you, his actions align with what he says. If he tells you he wants a serious relationship but refuses to define it, his actions are contradicting his words. If he says you're important to him but never makes time for you, he is showing you that you are not a priority. Pay attention. Actions don't lie. A man who says one thing but does another is revealing who he truly is, and the longer you ignore it, the more you allow yourself to be deceived. One of the biggest traps in toxic relationships is the belief in potential. You see glimpses of who he could be, moments where he acts right, and you convince yourself that if you just wait, if you just love him enough, he'll finally become that man. But here's the truth. Who a man is right now is who he chooses to be. If his actions to date don't reflect the words he speaks, don't assume his future actions will suddenly align with them. Hope is a beautiful thing, but when it blinds you to reality, it becomes self-destruction. Think about the moments when he's let you down. Did he apologize and actually change? Or did he say sorry just to keep you around, only to repeat the same behavior? A man who values you will acknowledge his mistakes and actively work to correct them. A man who only wants to keep you hooked will say what you want to hear and do nothing different. That's not love. It's manipulation. And here's something crucial to understand. Inconsistent behavior is not accidental. If a man can be attentive when he wants something from you, but distant when you need him, that's a deliberate pattern. He knows what he's doing. He knows that keeping you confused makes you more likely to stay. Because the moment he gives you just enough affection, just enough validation, you start questioning yourself instead of questioning him. And that is exactly where he wants you, doubting yourself, not him. A man who truly loves you will make his intentions clear. His love will not leave you anxious, uncertain, or constantly wondering where you stand. Love is not meant to be a guessing game. If you find yourself making excuses for why he isn't showing up for you, stop. A man who wants to be in your life will act like it. He will prioritize you, respect you, and make sure you feel valued. Not just through words, but through consistent, tangible actions. So if his words and actions don't align, don't listen to his actions. And if his actions tell you that he is inconsistent, unreliable, or unwilling to invest in you, believe it. Walk away, not because you don't love him, but because you love yourself enough to demand more. Love is not a competition. It is not a prize you have to win or reward. You must earn through effort, sacrifice, or proving yourself. Yet, too many people find themselves in relationships where they constantly feel like they have to do more, be more, and give more just to receive the bare minimum in return. If you feel like you have to prove your worth for a man to love you, that is not love. It is emotional manipulation. A man who truly loves you does not make you feel like you're never enough. Does not make his affection conditional, giving you love only when you please him and withdrawing it the moment you challenge him, stand up for yourself, or express your needs. But a man who is using you, he will make you believe that his love is something you must work for. He will create an unspoken rule that if you want his attention, his time, or his commitment, you have to keep proving yourself. This is one of the most dangerous red flags because it creates an unhealthy cycle where you keep chasing something that will never truly be given to you. He keeps moving the goalpost. No matter what you do, it's never quite enough. Maybe he tells you that if you were just a little more patient, he would commit. If you were just less emotional, he would open up. If you just did things his way, everything would be fine. And you start believing that if you can just be the perfect version of yourself, then maybe, just maybe, he will finally love you the way you deserve. But that day never comes. Because the truth is, it was never about you. A healthy relationship is built on mutual love and respect. Not one person constantly having to prove their value. When a man genuinely values you, he doesn't need you to earn his love. He gives it freely, not because you did something to deserve it, but because he sees your worth as you are. He doesn't make you feel like you have to be perfect to be loved. He embraces you, flaws and all, and loves you for the person you are, not the person he wants to mold you into. And here's the hard truth. If a man makes you feel like you have to earn his love, he does not love you. Because love is not about conditions. rules or hoops to jump through. Love is about partnership effort from both sides and mutual appreciation. If he only gives you affection when you please him, that's not love. And the longer you stay in that dynamic, the more you will lose yourself trying to be someone you're not. Just keep a man who was never truly yours in the first place. So stop chasing. Stop proving. Stop exhausting yourself trying to be enough for someone who does not see your worth. The right man will not require you to earn his love. He will recognize your value, respect you, and love you without conditions. And if a man is making you feel like you must work endlessly just to be worthy of him, walk away. Not because you weren't good enough, but because real love does not demand that you prove your worth. It simply sees it. Boundaries are the foundation of a healthy relationship. They define what is acceptable, what is not, and how two people can coexist with mutual respect. But a man who is using you, he will only respect the boundaries that benefit him while ignoring the ones that protect you. This is a massive red flag because it reveals something crucial. He is not interested in a partnership. He is interested in control. A man who truly respects you will honor your boundaries, even when they inconvenience him. If you say you need space, he gives it. If you express that something makes you uncomfortable, he adjusts his behavior. But a man who is only using you will disregard your boundaries unless they serve his interest. He might pretend to respect them when it suits him, but the moment they get in his way, when they limit his access to you, your time, or your body, he will push against them, manipulate you into changing them, or outright ignore them. Pay close attention to how he reacts when you assert yourself. Does he listen and adjust, or does he get defensive, annoyed, or even angry? Does he try to make you feel guilty for having boundaries? Does he accuse you of being difficult, dramatic, or too much when you stand your ground? These are all signs that he does not respect you. He only respects what benefits him. For example, if he doesn't want you seeing other people, he will enforce that boundary strictly, expecting you to be loyal and committed. But when you express discomfort about his behavior, maybe he flirts with other women, cancels plans last minute, or crosses a line you clearly set, he suddenly becomes dismissive. He'll tell you that you're overreacting, that it's not a big deal, or that you need to trust him. In other words, his boundaries are set in stone, but yours are up for negotiation. This kind of imbalance is a serious warning sign. Healthy relationships require mutual respect. If he only respects boundaries when they align with his desires, but dismisses the ones that protect your well-being, he does not truly care about you. He cares about what he can get from you. And here's the dangerous part. The more you allow this, the more he will push. If he can ignore one boundary and face no consequences, he will test the next one. He will wear you down slowly, making you question whether your boundaries were ever reasonable to begin. You might find yourself compromising more and more just to keep the peace or avoid conflict. But in doing so, you are teaching him that your boundaries are flexible and that he can cross them whenever he wants without consequence. This is not love. This is not respect. This is manipulation. And the only way to break this cycle is to enforce your boundaries firmly, without apology, without negotiation, and without guilt. The right man will respect them because he respects you. He won't challenge them, pressure you, or try to twist your words. He will listen, adjust, and honor what makes you feel safe and valued. So ask yourself, does he respect your boundaries, or does he only respect what benefits him? If it's the latter, walk away, because a man who does not respect your limits does not deserve access to you. Confusion is not love. If a man truly cares about you, he will make his feelings and intentions crystal clear. You will not have to decode his words, second guess his actions, or constantly wonder where you stand. But when a man is using you, confusion is his greatest weapon. The more uncertain you are, the more power he holds over you. A man who keeps you confused does so deliberately. He knows that if he can keep you guessing, one day showering you with attention, the next day pulling away, you will stay stuck trying to figure him out instead of realizing the truth. His inconsistency is the answer. If someone truly values you, they do not leave you feeling anxious, uncertain, or emotionally exhausted. They do not make you question whether you are important to them. Think about it. Does he give you mixed signals? Does he say one thing but do another? Does he talk about the future with you but never take real steps to make it happen? This inconsistency is not accidental. It is strategic. He gives you just enough hope to keep you hooked, but never enough certainty to make you feel secure. And every time he pulls away, you find yourself chasing, trying to fix whatever you think went wrong. But nothing went wrong. This is his game. He might tell you he's not ready for a relationship, but he still wants to be with you. He doesn't want you to see other people, yet he won't commit. He acts like your boyfriend, but when you bring up defining the relationship, he avoids the conversation. This is all intentional. He wants the benefits of being with you without the responsibility of actually being with you. And as long as you are confused, you will keep trying to win his love rather than realizing that he is not giving you anything real to begin with. One of the biggest red flags of emotional manipulation is feeling like you are constantly on an emotional roller coaster. Highs so intense that they make you feel euphoric, followed by lows so painful that you start questioning yourself. When he gives you attention, it feels incredible. When he withdraws, it feels unbearable. And over time, this cycle makes you emotionally dependent on him. You start craving the highs, tolerating the lows, and losing sight of what real love should feel like: stable, secure, and consistent. A man who loves you does not play mind games. He does not make you feel like you are walking on eggshells, wondering if today he will be warm or cold. He does not make you doubt his feelings or leave you hanging in uncertainty. Love should never feel like a mystery you have to solve. If a man keeps you confused, stop trying to interpret his signals and start recognizing the truth. If he wanted to be with you, you would know. No guessing, no mixed messages, no emotional chaos. Clarity is a sign of respect. And if he refuses to give you clarity, respect yourself enough to walk away. A healthy relationship should empower you. It should make you feel stronger, more confident, and more capable of facing life's challenges. Love should never diminish you. It should elevate you. But when a man is using you, the opposite. Instead of feeling valued, you feel depleted. Instead of growing, you feel like you're shrinking. Instead of becoming more of yourself, you start to lose pieces of who you are. This is one of the most dangerous silent red flags because it happens so gradually that you may not even notice it at first. In the beginning, you feel excited, hopeful, and maybe even special. But over time, something shifts. You start doubting yourself. You feel drained, exhausted, and emotionally unbalanced. You question your worth, your abilities, and even your own judgment. It's like a slow erosion of your strength. And before you know it, you don't feel like the same. A man who truly cares about you will want to see you thrive. He will encourage you to chase your dreams, support you in your goals, and remind you of your worth. But a man who is only using you does not want you to be strong, because strength means independence, and independence means you could walk away. So he subtly or sometimes blatantly chips away at your confidence. He might do this by making you doubt yourself. Maybe he downplays your accomplishments, dismisses your feelings, or mocks your ambitions. If you express excitement about something, he barely acknowledges it. If you share your struggles, he makes you feel like you're overreacting or being too sensitive. Over time, this erodes your sense of self. You start feeling smaller, less capable, less worthy of something better. Another tactic he might use is making you emotionally dependent on him. He creates a cycle where he is both the cause of your pain and the temporary relief from it. One moment he makes you feel unwanted or unimportant, and the next he gives you just enough affection to make you stay. You start craving those brief moments of kindness, even though he is the one causing the hurt in the first place. This emotional whiplash keeps you stuck, always hoping for more, but never getting what you truly need. And the worst part, you start blaming yourself. You wonder if you're being too needy, too emotional, or too demanding. You think that if you just change, if you just try harder, then maybe things will get better. But they won't, because the problem was never you. It was always him. A loving relationship should make you feel stronger. The right man will lift you up, not tear you down. He will remind you of your strength, not make you question it. He will celebrate your growth, not resent it. He will want you to be powerful, confident, and independent.
Right.
Not because he wants to control you, but because he truly values you. If you feel weaker in a relationship, if you feel drained, unsure of yourself, or like you are losing pieces of who you once were, that is a sign that something is deeply wrong. Love is meant to build you up, not break you down. And if a man is making you feel like less than who you are, then he is not your partner. He is your anchor weighing you down. Let him go. Not because you are weak, but because you are stronger than he ever wanted you to realize. One of the clearest signs that you're being used is that you no longer feel like yourself. You might look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring back at you. Where there was once confidence, there's now self-doubt. Where there was once joy, there's now exhaustion. And where there was once ambition and drive, there's now hesitation and fear. This doesn't happen all at once. It happens gradually through small moments that seem insignificant at first. Maybe makes you feel like your opinions don't matter. Maybe he dismisses your concerns, making you question whether they were valid in the first place. Maybe he subtly mocks your passions, your goals, or even your personality. And the worst part, you start internalizing it. You start believing that maybe you're not as smart, as capable, or as worthy as you once thought. A relationship should never make you feel small. Love should never require you to dim your light just to make someone else comfortable. But a man who is using you doesn't want you to shine. He wants you to stay dependent on him. Because as long as you feel uncertain, as long as you feel like you need his validation, he remains in control. He might do this by making you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. If you focus on your career, your health, or your happiness, he acts as if you're neglecting him. If you set boundaries, he accuses you of being selfish. And if you ever consider walking away, he suddenly becomes the most attentive, caring version of himself, just long enough to make you stay. This is not love. This is manipulation. The most dangerous part of this dynamic is that the longer it continues, the harder it is to leave. Because when you feel weak, when your confidence has been eroded, you start believing that maybe this is the best you can get. Maybe you don't deserve better. Maybe you're the problem. And that's exactly where he wants you doubting yourself, questioning your worth, and too exhausted to fight for something more. But here's the truth. The right person will never make you feel like you have to choose between being yourself and being with them. They will celebrate your strength, encourage your growth, and support your dreams. They will never make you feel like you are too much or not enough. They will never leave you feeling depleted, drained, or broken. So take a moment to ask yourself, do you feel more powerful in this relationship, or do you feel like you're losing yourself? If the answer is the latter, it's time to take back your power. It's time to stop giving your energy to someone who only takes. It's time to walk away. Not because you're weak, but because you are strong enough to demand more. You deserve a love that makes you feel invincible. You deserve a love that reminds you of who you are, not one that makes you forget. And if a man is making you feel weaker, it's not a sign that you need to try harder. It's a sign that you need to leave. Because the moment you step away from what is draining you, you will rediscover your strength. And that strength, that is what will lead you to the love you truly deserve. Wake up, stand tall. Love should build you, not break you. If he's using you, step away with your head high. Because the moment you reclaim your worth, you open the door for the right man, the one who doesn't just want you but cherishes you. Stay strong, stay wise, and never settle for less than you deserve.